Okay, everybody, welcome to the conference for today. I'm just going to make sure that everyone is muted. Euh, D'accord, on est tout muet. Okay, so welcome to the conference with Le Cercle des Langues. Today we are going to be discussing building your professional CV. So before we continue, I'm going to give some pointers, some points of administration. We will have the conference for about 25 minutes. And for the last 5 minutes of the conference, you are more than welcome to ask questions or share experiences if you would like to. You can either write your questions on a paper or you can put your questions into the chat. Okay, so we are going to begin with the first part. Also, a point to remember, after the conference, you will be sent the PDF or you will be sent the slideshow by Le Cercle des Langues so that you can recap the grammar and you can look at all the useful tips and vocabulary that you need. Okay, so building your professional CV level A1 to A2. So we have 4 parts that we will be covering today. We are going to cover the introduction to today's conference. We are going to answer the question of what is a CV for? So a CV is your curriculum vitae. We are going to look at the CV structure. And for the final part, we are going to look at various tips to build your CV. So let's begin. We start with the introduction. A CV is a document that provides a comprehensive overview of a person's academic and professional background. The primary purpose of a CV is to show an individual's qualifications, skills, experiences, and achievements in a structured format. So en français, c'est un résumé. CVs are typically used in job applications, academic settings, and certain professional contexts. So let's look at what a CV is for. So CVs are typically used in job applications, academic settings, and certain professional contexts. So here are some common purposes of a CV. We use them for job applications, undergraduate scholarships, graduate scholarships, professional networking. We use them for grant applications. We use them for our career development, and we use them for recruitment events. So generally, it's a few pages of all of the information on your life, your previous job experience, and your qualifications. So when you went to university, what was your first job? What was your second job? And so forth. So what is a CV for? A well-written CV should be clear, concise, and personalized to the specific audience or purpose. So for example, you will create your CV based on the job that you are applying for so that you can highlight the skills that you have for that particular position. It includes sections such as personal information, education, work experience, skills, achievements, and your references. So I will read the part in French for you. C'est un CV bien rédigé doit être clair, concis et personnalisé en regard d'un public ou d'un objectif spécifique. Il comprend des rubriques telles que les informations personnelles, le niveau d'études, l'expérience professionnelle, les compétences, les réalisations et les références. D'accord? So the goal is to present the individual's qualifications and suitability for the desired role or opportunity. L'objectif est de présenter des qualifications de la personne et de son aptitude à occuper les postes de l'opportunité souhaitée. D'accord? So it's always about what do you want to achieve and what do you want to show prospective employers about yourself, de vous-même. So the next thing we are going to look at is the CV structure, le curriculum vitae, so la résumé. So feel free to note down any of the new vocabulary. It may appear again. So n'hésitez pas à noter le nouveau vocabulaire, il peut réapparaître. So a CV usually has the following information. So the first part we talk about is a header. A header is where you have your name and your contact information. The second part is normally personal information. And when we say a brief personal details, we talk about where you live, we talk about the neighborhood, and next we look at your education. When we talk about education, we speak about your academic background. Where did you study? What did you study? Did you do anything else? Did you do any, we say in English, extracurricular activities? So those are your activities that you did which are separate from school, and those help give your potential employer insight to who you are. We then have your work experience. When we talk about your work experience, we talk about past jobs and internships. It's very important that they can see your past jobs and internships so that they can see what are your interests. So, en français, on dit c'est la tête du curriculum, c'est le nom et le coordonnées, information personnelle, brève information personnelle, la formation académique et l'expérience professionnelle, emploi au stage antérieur. A CV usually has the following information: relevant skills, references, which are trusted companies and individuals, and your hobbies and interests. So that's optional, but can be included. Sometimes it's good to add your hobbies and your interests again so that potential employers can see what interests you. So en français, on dit c'est votre compétence ou vos compétences, compétences pertinentes, vos références, entreprises et personnes de confiance, et hobbies et intérêts. Optionnel, mais peut-être inclus. So we have got a template of a CV in front of us. We can see that in the image, she has got on the left hand side, she has got her personal information. So des informations personnelles. We can see that she has her email address, she has got her telephone number, and she has where she stays. We see below that she is showing her education, her grants. We can see right at the top she has her name. We can see her professional statement, which she talks about herself. We can see her core qualifications. We see her work experience, and she starts with her current. And then you start with where you are now and you move back into the past. She then has all of her relevant information for her university, what she studied. So that is the first example. On the right-hand side, we have another example, slightly different, where he shows his name and his surname, all of his personal information, personal address, email, mobile, date of birth, and driving license. And then he notes his skills, ses compétences. He talks about the languages that he speaks, his hobbies, and on the right, he has his statement, his personal statement. After that, he has his professional experience, which takes us down to his educational background. So, before we continue with the header and personal information, what we can see here is that the CV is very well organized, bien organisé. It is neat, and that is something that is important, that all the information is put in a good space, good order, so that it is presentable for the future employer. So let's look at header and personal information. The header and personal information section is important in a CV for several reasons. First, we have identification, we have contact information, it's for professionalism, it's also for networking and customization. Okay? So, on a identification, information sur les contacts, professionnalisme, mise en réseau et personnalisation. So, for example, we always have our full name, we have our address, we have our city, our state, or our zip code, we have email address, we have our phone number, and we have our LinkedIn profile, which is optional. But LinkedIn is a good way for people to see how you connect with the business community. We then have our personal website or portfolio. So in the education section in a CV is important because it provides employers with information about your academic background, qualifications, and relevant training. Les parcours académiques, les qualifications et la formation pertinente. This section helps employers assess your educational achievements to see if you have the necessary knowledge and skills for the position you are applying for. Including your education shows your commitment to learning, skills, and expertise. So when we talk about education, how do we place it in the CV? We normally have our degree that we earned, or votre diplôme, in the field of study. So field of study, c'est le secteur. Qu'est-ce que vous avez étudié et dans quel domaine? We then have the university name and the location just after. And then we have our graduation date. Relevant coursework. List any relevant courses or projects that are directly related to the job you're applying for. So en français, l'éducation, il faut noter le diplôme obtenu, un domaine d'études, nom de la université et lieu. Nom de la université et lieu juste après, date d'obtention du diplôme et le cours pertinent. Énumérer tous les cours ou projets pertinents qui sont directement liés à l'emploi auquel vous postulez. So we look at honors and awards. Mention any academic honors, scholarships, or awards you received during your education. You could have a thesis or dissertation. If applicable, provide a brief overview of your thesis or dissertation topic and its relevance to the field, and your relevant certifications, which are optional. If you have any certifications that are pertinent to the job, list them here. So, en français, on a les distinctions et prix. Mentionnez les distinctions académiques, les bourses et les prix que vous avez reçus au cours de vos études. Les thèses ou dissertations, si c'est nécessaire, donnez un bref aperçu du sujet de votre thèse ou de votre dissertation et de sa pertinence pour le domaine. Certification pertinente, c'est toujours optionnel. D'accord? Si vous possédez des certifications pertinentes pour le poste, indiquez-les ici. D'accord? So for work experience, including work experience in a CV is crucial because it provides potential employers with insights into your professional background, skills, and accomplishments. So, il est essentiel de mentionner l'expérience professionnelle dans un CV car elle permet aux employeurs potentiels de se faire une idée de votre parcours professionnel, de vos compétences et de vos réalisations. Work experience demonstrates your practical application of knowledge, your ability to contribute to a workplace, and your adaptability in different professional environments. L'expérience professionnelle démontre votre application pratique des connaissances, votre capacité à contribuer à un lieu de travail et votre adaptabilité à différents environnements professionnels. So, when listing work experience on your CV, consider including the following details for each position. For example, lorsque vous mentionnez votre expérience professionnelle sur votre CV, pensez à inclure les détails suivants pour chaque poste. For example, your job title. Clearly state the position you held. Ce titre de poste indique clairement le poste que vous avez occupé. Company name. Mention the name of the company or the organization. Nom de l'entreprise. Mentionnez le nom de l'entreprise ou de l'organisation. And the dates of employment. So specify the start and the end dates of your employment to give sense of your tenure. So c'est le date d'emploi. Précisez les dates de début et de fin de votre emploi afin de donner une idée de votre ancienneté. Your responsibilities and achievements. Outline your key responsibilities and highlight specific achievements or projects you were involved in. This provides concrete examples of your contributions and your skills. So, responsabilité et réalisation. Décrivez vos principales responsabilités et mettez en évidence les réalisations spécifiques ou les projets auxquels vous avez participé. Cela donne des exemples concrets de vos contributions et de vos compétences. The second part of the work experience section is skills developed. Mention any skills or competencies you gained or enhanced during the role. So, compétences développées, mentionnez toutes les aptitudes ou compétences que vous avez acquises ou améliorées dans le cadre de vos fonctions. D'accord. In our skills section of our CV, a very important part, the skills section in a CV is a crucial part where you showcase your abilities, your competencies, and qualifications. So, la section compétences d'un CV est une partie cruciale où vous présentez vos aptitudes, vos compétences et vos qualifications. This section provides a quick snapshot of what you bring to the table and helps employers understand how well suited you are for the position. Cette section donne un aperçu rapide de ce que vous avez apporté et aide les employeurs à comprendre dans quelle mesure vous êtes apte à occuper le poste. So let's look at this example. So, hard skills. We talk about technical skills like programming languages. For example, we've got Python and Java. Web development, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Data analysis, we have SQL, Pandas, NumPy. Database management, MySQL, MongoDB. Machine learning, TensorFlow, scikit-learn. Version control, we have Git and GitHub. So he has listed his hard skills. When we talk about soft skills, we talk about things like communication, effective writing and verbal communication. We talk about teamwork, travailler dans une équipe, collaborative and adaptable team player. We talk about problem solving, being an analytical thinker with a solution-oriented mindset. We talk about having time management, which is efficient in managing multiple tasks and meeting deadlines. We talk about leadership, demonstrated leadership in skills in previous roles. So remember, we have two parts. We have hard skills and we have soft skills. Sometimes we have additional skills, such as languages, fluent in English and Spanish. We have sometimes certifications. For example, Certified Scrum Master, CSM. We can also add Microsoft Office suite. I am proficient in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or industry-specific skills. We also have digital marketing, for example, SEO, SEM, Google Analytics. We have additional skills such as graphic design, which is Adobe, Creative Suite, Photoshop, Illustrator. And finally, we can note sales, for example, client relationship management and negotiation skills. So I want us now to look at various tips that will help us build our CVs. Proofreading. Proofreading is crucial when writing a CV for several reasons. The first one is professionalism. The second is clarity and readability. Accuracy, first impressions, competitive advantage, consistency, language and tone. We avoid miscommunication, and it gives confidence. So when we read through our CV and check our notes and check what we have written, it really gives us a competitive advantage. So for our final tips, here are the final tips of building an effective CV. Conciseness is key. So, il faut être clair. We need to be clear. Relevance matters. So we need to understand what is relative to what we are writing, what we are applying for, and those are the skills we need to highlight. Il faut le souligner. Update your CV regularly. So il faut mise en jour. We need to update our CV regularly. Showcase achievements. Tell everyone what you are about, what you have achieved. And finally, be honest and authentic. So, être honnête. Sois honnête. Use action words. Action words are important. Be a team player. Seek feedback. Include a professional summary, which is always optional. And consider the visual appeal. Practice adaptability. So what we have for you, we have the e-learning modules that are available for you to do if you would like. We have Trouver un emploi. We have Trouver un emploi pour niveau B1. We've also got an article from the Cercle des Langues blog, Comment rédiger un CV en anglais. We've got a YouTube video available for you as well, and it's Écrire un CV en anglais. And we have a related conference, which is Job Searching at the Age of Artificial Intelligence, l'intelligence artificielle. Donc, thank you everyone for watching the conference, and just to remind you that it will be sent to you via email. Okay? So now we have a moment to ask questions. So let's have a look. Anyone have questions? Vous pouvez poser au chat. You can either put it in the chat or you can ask me now. You can unmute your microphones. Donc, est-ce que vous avez des questions? How do you translate grants in French? Ah, d'accord. So, en français, quand on dit grants, je vais vous donner le nom en français. En fait, en français, on dit des bourses. Oui, on dit des bourses. Je vais mettre au chat pour vous. Ou des aides financières. Je pense que ça, c'est mieux. Je vais mettre au chat pour vous. Gabriel, aide financière. Est-ce qu'il y a des autres questions? Do we have any other questions? My absolute pleasure. So, just to recap, the most important parts of a CV is that we need to be clear and concise with our language. The most important thing is that it is structured. It's bien organisé, because that helps it to be clear for our employers that are looking at the CV as us as potential employees. Quelle est la définition exacte de skills, s'il vous plaît? D'accord. Skills, c'est les compétences. So, soit vous avez les compétences, par exemple, ce qu'on a regardé, we have soft skills and we have hard skills. Je vais regarder pour vous une autre fois, donnez-moi 2 secondes. En fait, we have to. So, skills, je voudrais que vous imaginez les compétences. Mais je vais vous donner la définition en anglais. Comme ça, vous pouvez le voir. D'accord. So, si on regarde les définitions, c'est votre, it's the ability to do something well. Donc, j'ai mis au chat pour vous. The ability to do something well. C'est la définition en anglais. But it speaks of vos compétences. D'accord? Est-ce que c'est un peu plus clair? Yes, my pleasure. So as I was saying, pour vous, when we looked at a section for des compétences différentes. We had what we called soft skills and we had what we call hard skills. So il y a toujours les deux différentes. There are two different types of skills that we look at. So what will happen? Sabrina, est-ce que vous avez une question aussi? Je pense que vous avez. Peut-être pas. Okay, so everyone, you will be sent the conference. Ah ouais, comment on dit proofreading en français? D'accord, je vais vous donner. Donnez-moi 2 secondes. En français, on dit, when we say proofreading, en français, le mot pour ça, c'est le correction, soit c'est la correction des preuves ou la relecture. Donc, peut-être ça, je vais mettre au chat pour vous. Relecture. D'accord? Ou la deuxième définition que j'ai ici, c'est correction des preuves. Est-ce que c'est bien pour vous? Vous en prie. So, everyone, are there any other questions? Est-ce qu'il y a des autres questions? Okay. So, everyone, you will be sent the conference via email. I would like to thank you for joining me for this conference, and I wish you good luck with all of your CV writing. So thank you and have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye, everyone.